MK, and before I pull this kit for day 9, which is this sketch here brought to us by Sarah Davies, it's very hard to see. It's very fine print, but it is a beautiful sketch, and I cannot wait to recreate it. And I was going to go into my happy bin, and then I remembered that this was going to be the next bin that I go through for my giveaway. But I never finished February's giveaway, you guys. I totally spaced it, and I am super sorry that I did that. So it was going to be the fall/Halloween giveaway. So as soon as I am done with this layout, tomorrow what I will do is I will show you guys what I had pulled out for the fall /Halloween giveaway. I am so sorry. I did not even realize February is over and I'm already doing March. It just never occurred to me until I pulled this bin out, and I thought to myself, this will be my next bin because it is just chock full of stuff. Oh my gosh. So much stuff here, you guys. And this is what I call my happy bin. And so it's basically all things pink inside this bin. So expect a lot of pinkness to be coming out of this. Actually, I'm not even sure how much pink I do have, but I know that there is a bunch left. And so this will be at the end of March, my giveaway. So February's giveaway is going to be from tomorrow, which is the 10th of March, up until a week. So what is tomorrow? Tomorrow is the Friday. Ooh, is it a Friday? It is. So tomorrow is a Friday. So then the next Friday will be the announcement for February's, and then this will be the announcement for the end of March. Okay. So I apologize about that, you guys. I let February just totally get away from me, and I had no clue. So anyways, I'm going to go pick my kit. These are my photos. I'm going to pick what I'm going to do for these particular photos, and then I'll get back with you. All right. Thanks, you guys. All right. So once again, this sketch here is from Sarah Davies, and I'm going to try to pull it in a little closer so you guys can see the printed image that is on this sketch. Like I said, it was just printed really, really lightly, and so it was kind of hard to see, but it is a beautiful sketch to work with. So I have my 2 photos, which are printed at 4x6, so they're going to be a little bit large, and the whole design itself, because of the larger photos, is going to be large in itself. And then from Pretty Little Studios, I loved this Grateful Heart collection. I just loved the blues and the purples that were mixed inside. It was just a great color combination, even though I didn't even realize that it was a fall collection. No clue. I just bought it. And then I also had these beautiful florals from that collection as well, mixed in with a little bit of Rosie Studios. And then I have these epoxy buttons, I think is what they're called, from Altenews' very first scrapbook collection that they tried. And then, of course, this is one of my designs that I didn't really like, so never really shared, but I had it cut and hanging around. And then from Coco Vanilla's Unforgetable collection, I have the clear stickers. These ones here are the tiny word stickers from the Grateful Heart collection from Pretty Little Studios. I just haven't opened it. I keep forgetting about it. And then I also have a little bit of the die cuts from that collection as well. And then in my other little pocket, I have the cut aparts. One of the papers that were left over was a cut apart sheet, and so I just cut it apart. And then I have these borders. Now, 3 of these borders are close to my heart's color ready craft borders. So these are the last 3 that I have. They were an amazing set to work with, and it took me years to finally get down to the last 3, and I plan on using them up. And then I also have the cardstock stickers from Unforgetable, and what I was showing previously was the puffy stickers from I think Pink Fresh. I don't remember exactly which collection from Pink Fresh,
But I have some of the puffy stickers that I think might match this collection rather well. And then I set them off to the side and actually forgot them. So that's my bad. So I'm going to go through all of my supplies really quickly and just check and see what I have. And so everything on the left is what I want to or would like to use on the layout, maybe. And then everything on the right is just going to go back in the little pouches and packages and all that good stuff. So that's the that's the gist of what I want to play with, and how it works is I like to go through all of my supplies that I picked out and then minimize it a little bit more. So dwindle it down even more instead of doing it as I work. I like to pick it all out on firsthand. So I actually don't have any more paper left over from this collection. I have a wreath that I plan on fussy cutting out whenever, I don't know when, but it is on my list to do. So I'm going to use these cut apart cards for the photo mats, and then I did find a couple scraps, and I mean microscopic scraps, that I plan on adding to the layout later too as well. So for this cut apart sheet, or this cut apart piece, I wanted to frame my photo using the lines that are on this beautiful polka dot, but I didn't really want to waste that camera. So I gutted it out based off of what, how small I could make my photo or still show the frame that is printed on the card, and then just used my X-Acto knife and cut it out. Now I have to say that I struggled with my washi tape. This washi tape is from Tonic Studios, and it just doesn't like to come off of the roll. I get like 1 or 2 inches and then it rips it at a diagonal, and I don't mean a pretty diagonal. It's like, wow, I'm done. And it's just annoying. So I fight it and I cut it out just because of the fact that it's just something that I fight with, and I don't really want to show it with you guys. That's why it ends up on the back of my layouts and not on my project, because I can't even get a full 12-inch strip out of these things. So granted, it is kind of cool to use just a little bit of washi here and there, but yeah, I've got lots of scraps for that too. And it doesn't give me such fits like the washi does. So the third cut apart sheet or cut apart card that I'm going to be using is this one that's got this cool little blue camera on it, and it says Snapshots. So I'm going to go ahead and just rip off the bottom of it and use that as a part of my title. And then this border strip also came from the cut apart sheet, and I'm going to go ahead and just rip it so that way it gives it a little bit of interest and shrinks it down a little bit. And I'm going to finally finish, cutting the polka dots into a circle because it wasn't a really pretty square, and then fussy cut out the camera, all that good jazz. So once I've got all my pieces prepped, I can finally start putting this layout together. And I'm going to go ahead and start with the main strips that are in the sketch. Now she's got several strips going up and down, and they are rather large strips of cardstock or pattern paper, however you want to see the design. And she's only got 4, but because I'm using scraps and leftover pieces, I have to makeshift mine. So I'm using all these borders, and then I'm going to bring in labels to finish the design so that way it looks the same, but I didn't use any full sheets or strips of pattern paper or cardstock, however you want to see that. Also, I took that other cut apart card and cut it out so that way I could frame my larger photo in, because I couldn't get it, trimmed down enough. And again, I don't like smaller photos, so I was just working with the ones that I have. And I really do like how it works, because that's when I discovered that I had these scraps of papers, which after I pull out all of these labels first, I'm going to show you guys the scraps that I'm going to use here in a minute. But I'm playing with my with all of these labels. I just have a ton of labels left over from this collection. Not sure how I'm going to have this third border strip, but I do know that it's going to be used. And then, of course, there's circular elements also in this sketch, and that actually will come out later once I get it going. So here's the scraps that I have. I'm going to use one behind the Snapshots title just to give it a little bit more interest, and then one of them is going to go up in the corner to cover up the fact that I don't have a blue corner up there, which I think is perfect because it looks like part of the design, even though it was, hey, I'm just covering up the fact that I don't have enough paper. For this cut apart, I'm going to go ahead and just cut out the elements that I want to use, which are, of course, the leaves. I didn't feel like painting. I didn't feel like fussy backing. I didn't feel like doing anything. I just wanted the leaves. And yeah, I didn't realize how big they were until I started trying to put them on a layout or on the layout where I wanted them. And so, yeah, I'm just going to cut them apart. And then here is where I finally make my decision on where I want this third border strip. And I don't end up using it all because it was behind everything. Now, not everything is glued down just yet. As soon as I'm finished with my border, that is when I decide to start gluing everything down. Now, my photos are lightly tacked down, so that way I can do all of this tucking underneath and all that stuff. I just have one little strip of adhesive holding it down in the center. That way I don't have to worry about how far away did I put my adhesive, how far can I tuck this down, all that stuff. I just put it right in the middle so I don't have to worry about any of it, and it stays put. And then all the elements that I'm going to put around it and on top of it is going to help me secure it to the page. So I'm not even worried about going back and adding more adhesive because it's going to get stuck down just fine. So, and I do make sure that I use my ruler on just the longer strips to make sure that they are straight, and then I kind of eyeballed everything else. That way I didn't have to sit there and ruler it to death and get it to make sure they're all straight. I'm not too worried about the smaller pieces not being so straight. So here's where I'm deciding to use up all of the little scraps that I have left over. Like I said, I loved this color combination of the purples and the blues. It was just outstanding. I mean, just beautiful color combination. I had to have this collection, and I almost bought it twice because I liked it so much, but I didn't buy it twice because it was actually really hard for me to work with. It was very girly, and I had to have I felt like I had to have specific photos, and they're not my style of photos that I normally take. So I'm glad that I didn't buy another collection of this, but I am going to be sad to see it go because it was such a beautiful collection. And I'm glad I got some of it. I didn't get the whole collection. I just got little bits and pieces of it. And I'm grateful for, that's the name of the collection, is Grateful Heart. And yeah, so anyways, I did go ahead and start adhering things down. I'm going to stick these clear sticker leaves from the Unforgetable collection by Cocoa Vanilla. And I'm just going to accent and put it behind, so that way, because they are clear stickers, so I'm just going to make sure that they go behind in where I want to put all three clusters. Now, this one at the bottom right ends up being one ginormous cluster by the time that I'm done. And then, of course, the one on the upper left ends up becoming my title piece. So I only really have two clusters, which is what is on the sketch as well. So here's my circular element. I'm finally adding it to both pages. And what's really cool is because it's white on white cardstock, or white, a white border on white cardstock, it looks like the circle was drawn onto my layout and was part of the design altogether, even though I didn't add it first like it was supposed to be added in the sketch. So I do like how it brings in that circular element and softens those corners where my photos are all rough and jagged. So I like all that. And like I said, by the time that I do end up bringing everything in, these clusters end up huge, you guys. But I love every minute of it. I did not want to leave out any single one of these beautiful blue flowers. I just didn't. I also had another little, like half of a flower, so all you could really see are the leaves and things, and that's what I first tucked in up on the upper right, above my my cut file leaves. So, and now I'm just trying to decide where I want to place my last little flower before sprinkling all the smaller flowers, and I think I'm going to finish it off up here at the top. why not? It just seemed like the place to be. And now I'm just going to add all of these tiny little flowers in here. Not too worried that I'm going to finish these off because, like I said, I have no papers left. This is pretty much it. And then all the elements that I did not use are what I have left as well. Except that I do still have that, I think it's called a wreath. It's like a wreath. That I want to fussy cut out and use it. So then I have all of the leftover bits. So that way I can use the wreath as well. So that'll be fun to have all those little elements. Now the last thing I'm going to do is take all these clear little hearts. They're beautiful gray and black outlined hearts. I'm going to add those just here and there throughout the layout. And then take the enamel portions off of these wood buttons, because the wood buttons are just way too thick, you guys. They're almost a 1/4 inch thick. And I'm going to place the enamel hearts down in, one in each little cluster. And that's it. That is my layout for today. I had a blast just playing with the elements and using hardly any paper. I mean, seriously, I used barely any scraps. But I look at the color combinations, you guys. They're just gorgeous. Oh my goodness. How could you not want a million of those? I do. I want them again. I really do. But I'm glad that, I restrained myself. Is that the right word? Anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Sarah, I cannot thank you enough for this sketch. It was fun. I loved it. Also, too, be sure to check out all the links down below for Christy's Beautiful Life, 30 Days of Sketches. We've got the playlist and the Facebook group and all the things, that you guys can check out, and all the sketches that are amazing. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really, truly appreciate it, and I will check y'all later. Bye.